And if you were in Discord and watch what took place this Saturday, Karyn closed just on Saturday, on the end of the day, she closed 11 policies on Saturday. And she was in live dials because I saw Amaka put up the link for live dials on Saturday. So if you were working on Saturday, one, you should have been in one of the live dial rooms. And then two, you should be in Discord so you can see what's going on. That was one thing that made me feel guilty. If I wasn't working on a Saturday and I saw a bunch of numbers coming up, I felt guilty as hell for not working because I'm watching what's taking place. So being in Discord is important. It's another part of being plugged in, and then watching what is taking place. So you guys would have seen what KG did on Saturday, and she did it with like a couple different lead types. She did it with some titanium leads with a 25% discount. She just recently got on the new mortgage protection leads. She then wrote like 3 of those. She wrote some other older leads that she had. She's probably the one person in this entire group that I literally watch close every single lead type that we have. There was a new lead vendor that posted on Facebook and it said, we have age leads. So I called Karyn. I said, Karyn, I'll actually pay for them because I don't want you to waste your money if they're ripping us off. I'll give you $200, I think. I said, if you buy these leads and just test them and see if they're any good. Because I knew out of all the people that are in this entire group, she's the one person that if you can have success with a lead, she would be the one to do it. So anyone that's on here, if you don't have the money to buy brand new leads, if you're not doing what John and Amy are doing with IVR leads, Karyn every day shows people how to make money with $2 leads. Actually, she'll go in there and buy leads from Primetime for $1. She'll buy 200 primetime leads, it's 200 bucks for $1 a piece. She'll close 3 out of every 100. So she'll do, I'd say $4,000 to $6,000 off of a $200 investment. She's the one person out of this entire group that literally shows that anyone can do it with any type of money. So let's bring Karyn on. Her topic tonight is why all leads work, how she makes every lead work. And I'm excited to hear her talk tonight because she's very, very good at what she does.
Thanks, Mike. Can you hear me?
I sure can. It's all you, KG.
Awesome. So hopefully I could talk the rest of the call about all leads work. But yeah, this is exciting. When I first came in, you and Kali handed me a stack of leads that were 4 to 5 years old because I didn't have any money when I first started. And I looked at it like, what else do I have going on? Like, I don't have any money to buy leads, right? I'm just going to call and dial and figure it out, right? And so that's what we did. And so we had so much success because I remember you said you gave those leads to other agents and they just never call them. And I think that's just the biggest problem is that, when you don't work, you don't call the leads, you don't help any families. And so all leads really do work. I mean, it's just a person that put in a request, whether it was some time ago or whether it was just recently, and you're looking to get that resolved. And that's how I look at it. Like at some point, whether it was later or now, they put in a request, right? I need to know if they have life insurance or not, because if they don't, I'm selling it to them. If they do, I need to make sure they have the right program. And if they don't, I'm selling it to them, right? And if they don't have insurance through me, they don't have the right insurance. So I know that's what Kali says all the time. If they didn't buy insurance from you, they don't have the right type, right? So yeah, I think I found finally found my lead flow now, right? I know before I was just calling a bunch of older leads, and I know how that can be sometimes. It can be a hit or miss sometimes. But I mix the leads up, and I think that's what you have to do in order to have success, is to have a lead flow. But it's just like your investments, you don't put all your eggs in one basket. You never want to do the same thing with your leads, right? So I mix between the bronze because I know sometimes the real-time leads take some time to come in. And so to fill that time, I do purchase the ILC leads. So like recently I think I bought like 500 ILC leads, and it was a mix between the 20% off titanium, which I'm always taking use of the discounts, even when I already have enough because I want the discount, right? I bought some bronze. I bought the final expense real time. I bought 50 of those with the extra 10. And then I bought the mortgage protection with the extra 10. And I'm like, look, you got to go all out. You got to invest. I increased my, this is what really changed the game for me. I increased my, my investment on my leads. So I think, because last week I had a terrible week last week, but I dropped like 2,800 after that, almost $3,000. And so I'm just like, it's time to go to work, right? And because of that, I have so many leads, and on top of the CRM dripping on the real-time leads for me. People are self-booking. So some of those that you saw that I closed were self-booked. There were titanium that I called, bronze in between while I'm still waiting on my final expense to come in. It comes in here and there. I know I think I did like 5 policies today. That was a titanium. Yeah, so it's working, right? All leads work, right? It doesn't matter what it is. You just gotta pick up the phone and dial. You gotta keep a positive attitude, because whatever you think about is what you bring about, right? And positivity bursts positivity, negativity bursts negativity. So if you say the leads don't work, they're not. If you say the leads work, they do. And that's what, every morning we do a mojo call where we check our attitude, we check our mindset, we check our heartbeats in the morning to make sure we're all on one accord, we're all on one heartbeat, we're all on the same page. And, that way we move forward in positivity, where we say our affirmations, but then we also go into training so people understand that, guys, a lead is a lead, right? 75 cents, $30, you treat it as such, right? And then getting the most out of the leads. I'm really big on that, right? Because all you got to do is take 2 seconds out of your time just to ask that golden question, like, hey, do you know anybody that needs what we do, right? How was it that, what I did for you today, how important was that? How many people need this? Everybody, right? So if you can think of 1 or 2 people that needs this information, right, who comes to mind? I also get beneficiary referrals, right? Like, does your beneficiary have life insurance? No. Well, whether they have life insurance or not, my job is just to make sure they have the right type of plan, but also they know who I am. So when that time comes, they can call me directly. And then I get the beneficiary referral, right? And then I just keep asking until they say, you know what, you got everybody, and I'll give you some more, right? So I'm just constantly staying busy and working and dialing and booking. And what I do, because I do 100% telesales. When I'm dialing the leads, right, I'm booking. First of all, I'm trying to do the one call close. If they're not available at that time, I'll book them for that day. If they're not available that day, I don't book them any farther than the next day. So by the end of the day, I'll have about 10 to 15 appointments for the next day. And I'll also have appointments that day. And I'm still busy. I might miss a few people, but hey, you know what I mean? If I'm helping a family, I'm putting numbers on the board, that is what it is, that I can always come back to them, right? And then that's how I keep it. I do the one call closes in between of each and every appointment, and making sure every day I have 10 to 15 appointments, and utilizing all the leads. Because, guys, I'm gonna tell you, the older leads, you may not be a big fan of them, but they're not getting a ton of calls, right? Sometimes they've been skipped over. Sometimes at the time when they did fill it out, they weren't ready, and now they're ready. Guys, sometimes people don't put the burger down until they find out they have diabetes, right? No shade to anybody on the call that has it, but it is what it is, right? It's the same with, life insurance. Sometimes people don't realize they need insurance until a loved one or a best friend or somebody that they know passes away. And now they're thinking about it like, wow, like, I've been selling insurance for 11 years, right? I'm just helping some of my family members who now want insurance because they realize so-and-so passed away, right? They know I sell it. So they're like, it's time for me to get it, right? So always remember, when you're calling these leads, go for the no, but no is not no. No is just not right now, right? Because everybody needs what we do. And so that's how I look at it. But most importantly, the positive mindset, right? You have to have a good attitude, and you have to have high activity, right? If you don't have a positive attitude, you will not have any type of activity, because nobody wants to work with somebody who's broke, busted, disgusted, and mean all the time, right? And I'm not saying we're all perfect. Sometimes I got to check my attitude, right? I'll go check my attitude and come right back like, I need to be better, right? I need to be more patient, right? And I found out that, the old saying is, you catch more bees with honey, right? Yeah. So I catch more clients when I'm positive. I catch more clients when I'm patient. I catch more clients when I stay in script mode. I follow the script and I ask, I stay in question mode, right? Because they're either going to hang up on me or they're going to book, right? The last thing you want is you get on the phone and your attitude cause a person not to, move forward, or, you know what I mean, whatever happens, and, you don't get the sale and that person dies today or tomorrow, right? And that's on you. So I never wanted to be on me. I'm gonna be so positive they have no choice but to move forward with me, or I leave the window open and they call me in the future because of how the impression that I left on them. But back to the point, right? When it comes to these leads, they all work. So I do have a script in what I say when I'm calling older leads. I have given it out. And then I guess what I can do is kind of role play. So I
Let's
don't
do
know, Mike,
that.
you want to role play with me?
Yeah, KG, I want to do the old leads because there's a lot of people on here, a lot of brand new people, and I want to show people how you do it with the prime time $1 lead. And when you buy those, you usually buy 100 or 200 at a time.
I always buy like 200 or more.
Got it. All right, let's do that because
Yeah.
I think that's powerful to show someone how with $200 they can get things rolling. So that's important. So let's do it.
Yes. All right. So, all right. Ring, ring, ring. Mike.
Yes.
Hey, Mike. How you doing today?
Great.
Awesome. Awesome. My name is Karyn. I'm giving you a quick call here from the Final Expense Department from the state of Maryland. Just getting back to you. It looks like my office tried to reach out to you a few times. This was on the day that you put this request in. This was 2 days ago that you put it in online. No, let's say 2 months ago. Sorry. You put this in 2 months ago. Our office has been trying to get in contact with you. Looks like we haven't been able to get the information to you that you requested. I have your email here as mikefile@gmail.com. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Date of birth 10/23/1957.
I'm definitely not that old.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sometimes our system can act a little funky. 10/27/1980.
That's it. Yep. You
All
got it.
right, perfect. Sorry, let me update that. Gotcha. All right, so this survey that you filled out a few months ago, this was to get more information on the state discounted life insurance quotes. Do you remember doing that?
I don't. You said 2 months ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Yep, I got you.
Okay. All right, perfect. Am I the first person you've been able to talk to about this, or are you kind of still shopping around?
My phone's been going crazy.
Ah, okay. It's been blowing up.
Yes, it has.
Not a problem. And now, am I the first person that has been able to get this information to you, or have you talked to a few brokers already?
I talked to a few brokers already.
Okay. And were you able to get the coverage, or do you not have anything at all?
I don't have anything at all.
I got you. Now, was it because of price? You didn't like the price, or was it because you haven't been able to qualify?
I didn't like the price.
I got you. Now, let me ask you a few questions, Mike, real quick before I let you go here. If I can find you a plan, right, where number one, I'll explain how everything works. Number two, I can find something within your budget and not a penny over. And three, most importantly, I can get you approved. Is there any reason why you wouldn't want to talk to me for about 10 minutes to see what you qualify for?
No, I can talk to you.
Okay, perfect. And then, guys, I send over my virtual business card and my website. I'll say, hey, Mike, I just sent over my information. Do you see it?
Yes, I see it.
Perfect. Do you have any questions about my credentials before we move forward?
Nope, you look legit.
Perfect, perfect. And then I go into the script. So that's how I say it.
Now,
Because
the
I
old,
noticed the one thing, Mike. I noticed the one thing before I did my script that I just did. Every time I called somebody, they were always busy, right? Oh, I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you. So I say, you know what? I'm just going to eliminate that. Hey, my office has been trying to get in contact with you. And I'll say little things like, my office reached out to you. You said you were busy at the time. I just found some time to get back to you about this request that you put in. So now they can't tell me they're busy anymore. They're going to feel bad because it's life insurance and they keep putting it off if they don't have it. So that's what I say.
got it. Out of the, say you get 100 leads and I don't know, you talk to what, 10 of them, maybe 20?
Yeah.
All right. And then you're closing, I guess out of 20, you're closing three, right? Out of 100, you'll shut down three. Is that about what your numbers are? 2 to 3 out of old leads?
I'd say about between 30 and 50. I'm closing about 3.
Got it. Okay.
Hmm.
And what are you seeing the big difference? Are they all, when you're buying the primetime leads, you're buying the bronze, titanium, like, are they all about the same to you from what you're seeing?
Yeah, they're all the same. And here's the thing, because sometimes if you're guys, if you're not on live dials, right, and you're not seeing what we're doing, you could think it's you and you stop what you're doing when really what you're doing is you stop digging for gold. You literally stop right before you reach the goal, right? So for me, when I'm calling these older leads, it might be a day where I don't close anything, but I have 10 to 20 appointments for the next day.
Yeah.
And it makes up for those days that I didn't, that I didn't close. It's never that often, but every once in a while I'll go 1 or 2 days where I don't close. But if you look at my calendar, my appointments are crazy. Like how many that I book because of the
So,
people that I call that aren't ready right then and at that moment. They might be at work and then on Saturdays I go back throughout the week and I have 2 phones now. So I go back throughout the week and call everybody that didn't answer from my second phone. And then that's how I get some of my closes as well.
someone asked if you're uploading all of your leads into the CRM. Are you using it that much? Or is it just the
Yeah,
real
I'm,
time
but
leads?
I'm only using it for the real time.
Got it.
I don't upload all of my leads.
Okay. And are you just hand dialing or do you use the dialer through the CRM at all?
I'm hand dialing. I dial quick as heck. So when I'm
Got it.
sitting, I'm literally like do 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 do. I'm not taking no breaks. I'm literally dialing back to back to back to back.
Kali said you're amazing with objections. Let's go over some objections because when people are
Thank
on the
you.
phone, I think that's the biggest problem that people have. What is the I guess a couple of objections that you hear more than anything else on older leads or any leads? I
I mean,
already
I get
took
them
care of it.
all.
How do we overcome that? I already took care of it.
Oh, great. Not a problem, Mike. My job is just to get you the new 2024 programs that are out where we offer you more coverage at a lower rate. Did you just get it or have you had your policy for a while now?
I've had it for a while.
Not a problem. So this request you just put in was actually like a few months ago. Is there any reason why you were shopping around for additional coverage or were you looking to cover somebody else?
This was an old request and I took care of it back then.
I got you. Okay. So this wasn't, you said you took care of it how long ago?
A couple months ago when I put in the request.
Okay, a few months ago. Gotcha. Okay, so just to make sure you were set up correctly and put into the right risk class, now we have about 30 carriers that we work with directly. Which one of our carriers got you approved?
America.
America. Okay, got you. All right. Do you have any major
Let's
health
give
issues?
a company that's not one of ours.
Okay,
SBLI. So it's not one of
got you.
ours. You know someone else with
Okay,
it.
got you. You have any major health issues, Mike?
I'm perfectly healthy.
Got you. All right. So that's the reason why this request is still sitting out here. Now, first of all, let me thank you for even getting life insurance because most people I talk to don't have it, right? But can I ask you a question without you getting upset with me?
Sure.
All right. Is there a way that I can communicate to you where I can find a better plan for you, either with more coverage at the same price or the same coverage at a lower price?
That would work.
Okay. It just takes about 10 to 15 minutes. I'm not sure if I can even help you, but if I can save you some money, which on average I've been able to help my clients save $30 to $50, you think you might be interested in hearing more?
I definitely would.
Perfect.
Awesome. How about I don't remember doing it.
I understand, Mike. I don't remember what I ate for breakfast yesterday. Do you remember shopping around for life insurance quotes online at one point?
I might remember doing that. Yeah.
Okay. And do you have any coverage at all at the moment outside
I
of
don't.
work?
No, I don't.
No? Okay. Let me ask you, is the reason you don't have it because of you never thought maybe it might be affordable, or have you not been able to qualify, or have you just not looked into it?
I had a problem qualifying like 10 years ago.
I got you. So that kind of threw you off a little bit?
Yes.
All right. So that's the reason for my call. The state has me reach out where I'm like the person that you want to talk to that can cover anybody. We just got to figure out which plan is the best plan for you. So what I'm going to do is go over which company is going to offer the best coverage at the lowest price. You got about 10 to 15 minutes?
I do.
Okay.
Let's go over. I'm no longer interested.
I got you. Mike, I knew you weren't interested before I called. My job is just to get you the new 2024 programs. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes. Do you have life insurance?
I do not.
I got you. Now, is the reason you don't have it because you haven't been able to qualify, or has it been the price?
Price.
I got you. Now, if I can find something within your budget and get you approved, you got about 10 to 15 minutes?
I do.
Okay.
So no matter what they say, you're saying the same thing over and over and over again.
Over and over again.
Does everyone hear that? When people jump on live dials, Karyn, what do you see the biggest problem that people are struggling with when they're on live dials? Or are they just not dialing, or they're not unmuting so you can coach them? What is the biggest problem that you're seeing?
Number one, they're not unmuting. Number two, they're not dialing. And number three, when they get somebody on the phone, they're not following the script. But most importantly, they're not handling these objections, because most of the people that we call, guys, a lot of them do have insurance already, or they just got something, but they don't get the right type. And I always tell clients, like, listen, Mike, 70% of people I talk to don't have the right coverage. Let's take about 5 minutes to make sure you're set up correctly and you were put into the right risk class, right? Because it pays to know. And so, yeah, that's the biggest thing that I've seen. They're not unmuting, they're not following the script, they're not handling the objections. I still read my script, guys. Like, I still read my script. I still have all my scripts highlighted. They stay in front of me. They're my Bible. I live and breathe by it. If I'm traveling anywhere I'm going and I'm dialing somewhere else, I have to have my scripts with me. So it's important, right? But most importantly, work works. And so you have to work these leads. And I don't care if they're new or they're old, they all require elbow grease, because my new leads, the ones that I closed, I probably called about 9 to 15 times before they answered and was like, oh yeah, I filled that out. So I'm like, okay, I got to work these just as hard as I got to work the old ones. Why are we running from work?
Yeah.
You got to put the work in.
What is your typical schedule? What are you working every week now? Can someone post the Discord link for people that are asking? What's a typical schedule, or what is your schedule every week, KG?
Yep. So every day, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m., we have our morning mojo call. We finish by 9:30. I'm dialing by 10 o'clock. And I'm typically done like around 7 or 8 o'clock. And I'm booked every hour, sometimes double booked. And then on Saturday, we work from like 9:30 to 4 or 5 o'clock. And then I'm off on Sunday.
Got it. So you're every Saturday?
Yes, every Saturday. And this Saturday that I closed all that, I wasn't even feeling well. I was so I was so sick. I woke up, I took some Dayquil and kept it moving, because I as a leader, guys, especially if you have a team, the only thing we owe you is an example and an opportunity. If I'm not selling the opportunity and recruiting somebody, I damn sure better be the example. And so that's what I always live by.
So Karyn, you did 9,400 week one. You were and you worked you didn't work all day Saturday, but you put up 11 policies on Saturday. And we had a lot of people, like, out of the 149 people here, how many people were dialing with you on Saturday?
Just me and Amaka and maybe 1 or 2 other people.
Got it. Let me look. Where was Amaka? Amaka's been crushing too. She's been doing very, very well. Does anyone want to go over any of her other scripts? I mean, they're all pretty much the same. I think what people do is, the first thing when they see you close, they always ask, what leads is she working? What is she doing? Is she uploading the CRM? I'm like, she's just working. Oh, that's good. Kali said, let's go through mortgage protection. You haven't done mortgage in a while, but you bought.
Yeah, Mike, I got a question.
Hold on. Let's go through her mortgage protection script. Actually, what's your question, Adam?
Well, it has to do with mortgage as well. So just want to know, KJ, what you do when you got somebody who is older, into the retirement age, and they're on a mortgage protection lead. Obviously, we're not going to give them a term. How do you segue into getting them something else?
Absolutely. So I'll say, hey, Mike, listen, now covering the entire mortgage would be ideal, right? But unfortunately, at your age, it can be very costly. Would you agree?
Yes.
It could be another mortgage payment, and financially, that just doesn't make sense, correct?
It does not make sense now.
Okay, so most of my clients that are around your age, the one thing that they love to do is to be able to have enough mortgage payments to their, to their beneficiaries so that they can make those mortgage payments until they can decide what they want to do with the home. So they're not running to a real estate office after a funeral. Does that make sense?
That actually does make sense. Yes.
Okay, so what we're going to talk about is we're going to look at a few options, anywhere between 6 months of mortgage payments all the way up to maybe 3 to 5 years worth of mortgage payments. And we're going to see which one is going to be the best fit for your budget. Sound fair?
It does. I
Perfect.
think that's the biggest problem when people are getting involved with mortgage protection. Everyone always thinks that it means pay the whole house off, and that's rarely what it means. It's the mortgage payment that's the issue, and that's a problem that we have to solve for people. It's rarely ever do we need to pay the whole house off. So I'm glad someone asked that. Let's go through your mortgage script. How are you calling these leads? Let's go through how you're closing them.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I use Jonna's script to a certain extent. Like, I'll go through the same script that I just went with you through. I'll just say I'm calling from the mortgage protection division. This is about, mortgage protection that will cover your mortgage, Mike, in the event when you pass away, to either some or all of the payments, or if you qualify, it can provide an income while you're living to protect you in case you become ill. And that's critically ill, chronically ill, or terminally ill. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Okay, and this is for the 1235 Main Street. Is that right?
correct.
Perfect. And then I go through it. And before I go through it, before I start asking a bunch of questions, hey, Mike, do you know what mortgage protection is?
I do. It pays off my house, right? If I die.
Okay. And do you kind of know the other things that comes along with it?
I don't.
Okay. So if you qualify, like I said, it can provide an income to you while you're living, or, right, it could have a tax-free, cash value bucket where you can dip into in case you run into hard times, where you can actually make those mortgage payments if you need to borrow money. Does that make sense?
It does. Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna look at all those different options for you, see what's gonna be the best fit, and move forward with. The only thing we could do today is submit an application to see if you qualify right before you decide to purchase mortgage insurance. Does that sound fair?
It does. Yes.
Now, okay, perfect. Now let me ask you, what's gonna be your biggest concern for you when you pass away for that home?
I want to make sure that my daughter has a place to live.
Okay, and does she live with you currently?
She does. She does not know.
No, okay, but you want her to have the home and be able to live in it, basically.
Yes, that's correct.
Got you. So the one thing I'm going to do for you today is I'm going to go with the option of covering the mortgage, right? So that when that time comes, your daughter is not struggling to try to keep that house. Everything will go smoothly. She can move in and have the home, and everything that you've worked hard for, that you build, blood, sweat, and tears, the mortgage that you paid into this home will be protected, and it will be left behind to her as a legacy. Does that sound fair?
It does. Yes.
Okay. And do you have a living will or a trust or anything like that to protect this legacy that we're going to set
No,
up today?
I don't.
Okay, so I have a free gift for you at the end. I'm going to offer you a free membership that's going to protect this legacy that we're setting up today. Is that all right with you?
It is. Yes.
Okay, perfect. And then I got my sheet right here. I go through my
Let's.
mortgage protection sheet.
Karyn, I think you're probably selling more legacy safeguard than everyone in our entire group. Can we go over that a little bit? How have you worked that into your sales? What's that doing for you, and how do you how are you presenting that to people?
Absolutely. So I kind of do it the Don Rogers way. When I heard him say it, I was like, dang, that's dope, right? So I'll say, Mike, listen, even though you have mortgage protection, right? What's really going to lock in this legacy so that you can be able to leave it behind to your loved ones is this free membership that I'm able to offer you today that nobody else has, called Legacy Safeguard. Have you ever heard of it before?
I've never heard of it.
Okay. So what this does, Mike, is it eliminates all confusion at the time of death. How many times has somebody passed away, right? And they were just confused out of their mind on what to do with the home, what to do with their stuff, where everything was. How many times have you encountered that?
I've heard about it quite a bit.
Or heard about it quite a bit, right? Okay. So what this does for you is it eliminates the confusion. What it offers is, number one, estate planning. Number two, it offers end of life planning. And number three, grief support, right? So you get all of these things in one, where you have access and resources to setting up a living will or a trust, right? You have the resources to do that. You know, setting up, if you haven't found a funeral home, or if you have one, right? Taking care of the obituary, right? Or even grief support. If you lose a loved one, or if a loved one loses you, whatever, how that works, you have the resources to be able to get that counseling. All right. So you can be able to deal with your loved one accordingly, right? How important is this to, you know, to be able to have in your
Sounds
possession,
great.
to be able to protect? Like,
Sounds great. What's it going to cost me?
oh, it's not going to cost you anything. It's free. Is that cool?
I like free.
Okay. So we'll be able to offer you that at the end. Okay.
Perfect. What
All right,
can you
cool.
show everyone how you enroll people, or where you
Yeah.
go to for the legacy safeguard?
Oh, shoot. Can I tell you how to do it? And I walk you
Yeah,
through it?
yeah. Tell everyone how to
Okay.
do it.
So if you haven't enrolled, right, guys, it's free. It's legacysafeguarduniversity.com. When you log into Legacy Safeguard, it's going to say membership. It's going to give you some options at the top right, and it's going to say membership resources. When you click membership resources, you're going to scroll all the way down. The first option is going to be enroll now. When you put enroll now, you're just going to fill out their information. It's going to ask just for basics like first, middle, last name, date of birth, phone number, email, address. It gives you the option to put the primary and the spouse, and then it has all your information at the bottom. You just check the box and then submit, and they get an email. You get an email, and in their email, it has your name on the membership card as well as theirs, and all the information. And if you really want to know how it works, just sign up for it for yourself so you can receive it and see how it works. And yeah, you have it too. You know, that's how it goes. You can't sell something you don't own.
Do you feel like it's been helping you, KG, with your
Yeah.
sales, like offering that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like my retention rate has really increased. It has increased the trust between the client and I. This is something that they've always been thinking about. They're always talking about wanting to do a will, always talking about wanting to do a trust, and who to talk to and what resources they would have access to. They just don't have anybody to tell them about it. So I'm able to incorporate that with making sure I set up their legacy with whether it be final expense or mortgage protection or an annuity, whatever that might be. So it definitely it like Kali said, when you have more than one product, you're more than likely not to get rid of the product than you would if you only had one.
Got it. I love it. Have you been working that into the beginning of the call, or is it always at the end or the middle? How do you work that in?
I don't like to, because when you give a client too much, they have too much information, they can't ever make a decision. So I'll
Mhm.
always wait until the end, but I do let them know up front, hey, listen, I do have a free gift for you at the end. I'll
Cool.
explain it once we finish today. So they have something to look forward to at the end after I go through the information with what they requested.
Got it. I love it. You have to, I think you need another 250 for the last 6 months of the year to be able to hit Hall of Fame. Is that the
I'm
goal?
on it. I'm
There
on
you
it.
go.
Yes. Yes.
Does
And I'm
anyone
about to buy
have it?
some more mortgage protection leave.
I love it. Does anyone have any questions for KG? Put it in the chat and then I'll ask her. I saw Gary got his first 2 mortgage leads today, and he
Yeah.
called me all excited. Everyone's getting fired up. These things are
Oh
rolling
God,
now.
they're great.
I guess everyone else is good.
No
No
questions.
other questions? Oh, Kali, how do
Yeah.
you fit recruiting in?
So that's a great
Great question.
question. So I am a part of the campaign. So I take about a few hours out of my day. So like I have people that are booked, like I have people booked on my calendar today. So in between my clients, I call and do the interviews between I say between 3 and 6. They get booked on my calendar, or I'm calling the ones that are coming in to see if they're a good fit for the business. I've also been talking. I got my cousin that's about to join me in business. He
Nice.
just turned. Yeah, he's a twin. He just turned 19. I got him on my calendar for next week. And I've been out talking to people. I used to be a bartender for over 10 years, so I got some people in the pipeline that I've been talking to and following up with. Definitely get with Jamie to be a part of the campaign. It's 500 per seat. So that definitely helps. I've gotten the Mighty Lions on my team, all those licensed agents that came from the campaign. So a lot of my teammates came from the campaign. Yeah, and I got some people in the pipeline ready to get their license, and they're excited. And I've also been hiring clients. So I got a few people who they referred their spouse who are on my team that got their license. Yeah, and then the team is following suit. So
Let's see what else is in
yeah,
here.
3
Where's
to
the
6 every day. I leave it open for recruiting and also responding to the people who have gotten on my calendar that want to be a recruit.
what's the, I don't know what Justin means, a mortgage protection question. I don't understand that. Oh, where'd you get your shirt?
I was at a big event. Big decisions are made at big event. Frank threw this shirt at me at convention. I think it was convention. Yeah, he threw the shirt at me. So I've been rocking it ever since. Because I want to sell more FIAs. So why not wear the shirt and manifest it? So yeah, I got one to do tonight. So we'll see how that goes.
Kenya asked how you're doing policy reviews. I think that's what she means.
Yes. So actually, I have an office manager. If you don't have an office manager, then you need to do them yourself. But my office manager goes through my book of business and she gets people back on my calendar to do a review. And so we go over everything, what they have. Has anything changed? Have you added any new members to the family? I know, and I always keep my notes on my clients. So I'll go back to my calendar, look at my notes. I know we mentioned you were really looking at the 50,000 option. Are you in a position where you want to add that additional coverage so you can have what you wanted? Or do you feel like this is the amount that you can handle every month and nothing more? And they're like, yeah, let me get the extra coverage. So yeah, my office manager gets people on my calendar to do policy reviews. We share a calendar.
Kali, anything else for KG? Let me unmute Kali.
Nope, great job. She crushed it. Great work, Karyn.
She brought me in,
First time on
y'all.
the call, and you did crush it. Very good.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you guys next Monday at 6 o'clock. Someone asked for the link to the dial room. It's zoom.fflfury.com, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Zoom.fflfury.com. So everyone make it a great week. And we'll see you guys next Monday. Next call is going to be, what's the next call? Thursday, right? SRS call. All right, guys. We'll talk to you guys next week.